Yo! Anybody seen any more of those era battles? 27 days. 27 days ago, we had a post on the forums talking about the era of piracy era battle. All right, so we are currently knee-deep. I nearly said something different there. Knee-deep into the era of piracy. We've got 3 pirates left out of the 3 that we've had released. We've had Smee. We're waiting for Maz Kanata's conquest to start later. And they said 27 days ago that we would be getting a new era battle for the era of piracy, as well as Smuggler's Run 3, which will use the new GL Hondo the Pirate King. So let's go over what CG said. Hondo on deck this August. Gather your new pirate forces and set sail for the next era battle. Raiders of the Outer Rim. Nearly said something else there again. Galactic Legend Hondo, with his legendary love for a good score in addition to the normal final tier, is bringing a bonus tier requiring Hondo himself, GL Hondo, not OG Hondo, ensuring you'll haul in even more with him at your side. And then we're also getting Smuggler's Run 3. Now, I don't want to talk too much about Smuggler's Run 3, but this era battle over here, this is the part that confused me, because I, in my naivete, and I think probably some other people, assumed that August they meant like August now, not August like the end of August. Because if we take a look in the game and we just pop over to the event tab, now we're coming up to the last day of Kix's Marquee, which means an era battle should be tomorrow, but there's nothing inside of the events tab which tells me we are not getting an era battle this week, which means it's going to be in 2 weeks' time, after the release of the first set of the next set of pirates, which is going to be Brutus. Brutus will be the next set. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the lead antagonists in the Skeleton Crew TV series, and he's actually a pretty cool looking guy. I'm sure he'll be great, and I imagine he will have his own leadership. But that means that we're not having a pirate era battle for this first set at all. They've just skipped these guys. Cast your minds back, if you will. This is where CG get to lean into that wonderful subject to change that they can use to basically do whatever they want, right? So this was the original era battle sort of schedule that they had over here. We had Apo, we had the era battles, then we had CX2 and the era battles. This is all Nightfall era. Then we had Disguised Clone Trooper, era battles, Scourge, era battles. Then we started the second half of that era of what was it? It was the era of Revenge of the Sith, right? So we started doing the 2 Jedi Vanguard characters, and they got a new era battle, right? That's the new one. That's the green one. So Nightfall battle. Then we had the Crimes Against the Republic era battle. And if you go to the next slide, this marquee here, this one is Captain Athano, and we were supposed to have era battles here, but they've missed those. We got these era battles. They just appeared in the wrong days. And then this one over here is Quiggold, and we were supposed to have the era battles, right? And then, you know, there's Nightfall era, and then there's Crimes Against the Republic. And then we had what we just had over here, which is Kix, and we're supposed to have era battle and era battle. Then we're supposed to have a new marquee event, still with the old era battles. This one's going to be Brutus. This one's going to be, I think it's Vane. And then we start a new era battle, but it looks like they've just skipped all of this, and they're just going to go to a new set of marquees with a brand new era battle they're bringing forward. So basically, what I'm trying to understand, guys, is have they just scrapped this era battle completely? Have we just lost this, or are they treating this set of marquees as one era battle in totality? And how many are we actually going to get? Because this is the weird thing, right? Normally you get about 12 instances if we count Nightfall era, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 10, 11, 12, and then there's another one right at the end, right? And we know that Hondo is going to have a bonus node on top of here, but Hondo isn't appearing right now for another 6 weeks, basically. A little bit longer than that. So if we do get the era battle here, 1, 2, 3, 4... Are we going to miss... well, I suppose it's only going to be missing 4. We'll only miss 4 era battles that could have that bonus tier of Hondo. What I'm just kind of confused about right now, ladies and gentlemen, is why is it that this wasn't communicated a little bit clearer? Like, am I the only person that thought we were actually going to be getting an error battle that was supposed to be using Captain Athano, Kix, and Quiggled? Because that's what it looked like. And I know CG has that big flashing sign that says it's subject to change and they don't have to deliver on that. But if you're not going to deliver on it, why wouldn't you just say so? Like, I just assume it got pushed back by, like, you know, several weeks. But to just flat out just not do it, or maybe they're just throwing it all in together. I mean, we're not going to know until we get to next week when we get my boy Brutus in the game, and presumably that'll give us a little bit of information about this era of piracy error battle. And we'll see what the requirements are. Are we going to be able to use Captain Athano and Kix and Quiggled, or are they going to say, no, you can only use Vane, and you can only use Brutus, and you can only use Captain Silvo in this one. You can't use Kix and Quiggled and Captain Athano, and you can't use Smee for it. Well, they probably would let you use Smee because he's part of the, you know, the skeleton crew pirates. I don't know. This just feels a little bit funky to me because there's more to it than just, oh, we'll still get 12 instances, you'll still get the same rewards, because there is an element of pacing it along, because these error battles help early game players unlock a little bit more shards at the start. If it comes at the start and you've only got Captain Athano, you've got a higher chance, 100% chance, of getting Captain Athano shards, which lets you maybe take him to 5 stars, so you can do the second tier, right? And then second time it comes around, it gets diluted a bit, because then you have Captain Athano and you have Quiggled, so you can get a little bit of both, right? Now, if it's at the end, it's going to be equal chance of all of them at once, which has its pros and cons, don't get me wrong, but it's just a different approach. I guess the whole thing I'm trying to say is I wish it was just a little bit clearer about what we are getting. Are we just skipping an entire error battle, or is it just being combined into one at the end? And shouldn't they have just said that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bit pernickety here, but I just really like the inclusion of error battles. I think error battles are so good for the game. They benefit everybody, and I get disappointed when, you know, we think we're getting something and then it just doesn't turn up and stuff like that. Maybe I'm just a grumpus and it's Monday. You can let me know in the comment section down below. Am I on track here, or am I just got a case of the Monday grumps? Maybe I do. I should have a chocolate bar or something, feel a bit better.